I need you to listen to me very carefully, not just as a nutritionist, but as someone who has sat across from hundreds of men and women, just like you, in my clinical practice for over 2 decades. I've seen the confusion, the frustration, and the quiet despair in their eyes. They come to me doing everything they've been told is right. They've cut the fat, they've chosen the heart-healthy options, they've diligently read the front of the food packages. Yet they are more tired than ever. The number on the scale keeps creeping up, especially around the middle, and they live with a constant brain fog they've accepted as a normal part of aging. I am here today to tell you it is not normal, and it is not your fault. You have been systematically misled. The food industry, with its brilliant marketing and its deep pockets, has sold us a story about what is healthy, a story that is particularly dangerous for anyone over the age of 60. Our bodies are magnificent, but they change. The metabolism you had at 30 is not the one you have at 60, 70, or 80. After 60, we face a trio of metabolic challenges. First, our bodies naturally become more insulin resistant. This means the cells don't respond as well to the hormone insulin, which is responsible for moving sugar out of our bloodstream. Second, we begin to lose precious muscle mass in a process called sarcopenia, and muscle is our metabolic engine. It's what burns calories even when we're at rest. Third, our hormonal landscape shifts, which can further influence how and where we store fat. What this all means is that our bodies can no longer handle the same types of foods, especially in the morning. Starting your day the wrong way, with one of these so-called healthy breakfasts, doesn't just set you up for a mid-morning slump. It triggers a catastrophic hormonal chain reaction that tells your body to do one thing: store fat, especially dangerous visceral fat around your organs. It slams the brakes on your metabolism and sets you on a blood sugar roller coaster that wrecks your energy and fuels cravings for the entire day. Today, we're going to fight back with the truth. We are going to unmask the 4 worst healthy breakfast foods that are sabotaging your health. And I am going to give you simple, delicious, and powerful swaps that will turn your metabolism back on and help you reclaim the energy and vitality you deserve. Let's begin with the first and perhaps most beloved imposter in the health food aisle: the instant oatmeal packet. We've had it drilled into our heads for decades. The heart-healthy checkmark on the box, the smiling Quaker, the promise of a warm, wholesome start to the day. The box tells us it's made with 100% whole grain oats and can help lower cholesterol. It seems like the perfect choice, especially in a popular flavor like maple and brown sugar. It's quick, it's easy, and it feels like a virtuous decision. But now, I want you to metaphorically pick up that box with me and turn it over to the nutrition label, the place where the marketing stops and the science begins. What do you see? In a single tiny packet, you will find a staggering 12 to 15 grams of sugar. That is equivalent to about 3 to 4 teaspoons of pure sugar. And where is the fiber? You might see 2 or 3 grams. That's it. Why? Because to make the oats instant, they have been pulverized and pre-cooked, stripping them of their slow-digesting structure. Now let's play out what happens in your body, in real time, the moment you eat this. Because the oats are so heavily processed and the fiber is so low, that sugar hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave. It's not a gentle rise, it's a massive, rapid spike in your blood glucose. Your pancreas, the organ that produces insulin, sees this tidal wave and panics. It screams, "Red alert! We have a sugar flood." And in response, it pumps out a huge surge of insulin to deal with the threat. Insulin rushes into your bloodstream and starts frantically trying to shove that sugar into your cells for energy. But here's the problem, especially after 60. Your cells are already a bit resistant to insulin's knock. They don't open the door as easily. And you probably don't need all that instant energy just to sit and read the newspaper. So what does insulin do with all the leftover sugar that the cells won't take? It does the only thing it can. It converts it into fat and stores it. And insulin's favorite storage facility is your belly. So that heart-healthy breakfast has just sent a direct hormonal signal to your body to increase abdominal fat. But the damage isn't over. After that massive insulin surge comes the inevitable crash. About 90 minutes later, your blood sugar plummets, leaving you feeling exhausted, irritable, and foggy. And what does your brain scream for when your blood sugar crashes? More sugar. You start craving cookies, crackers, or another carb-heavy snack. You have started a vicious cycle that will last all day. The superior swap is beautifully simple. Switch to steel-cut oats or, at the very least, old-fashioned rolled oats. Think of instant oatmeal as sawdust and kindling. It burns up in a flash. Steel-cut oats are like a dense, slow-burning log. They are the whole oat groat, simply chopped into pieces. They are packed with fiber, which means they break down very slowly in your digestive system. This leads to a very gentle, slow rise in blood sugar, giving you sustained energy for hours. There is no spike, no surge, and no crash. To make them even more of a metabolic powerhouse, you must add protein and healthy fat. Never eat oatmeal naked. A great way to prepare them is to cook a batch for the week. Take 1 cup of steel-cut oats and 4 cups of water, bring to a boil, then simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. Store it in the fridge. In the morning, scoop out a serving and warm it up. Now for the magic. Stir in a scoop of unsweetened protein powder, or a tablespoon of chia seeds or ground flaxseed for extra fiber and omega-3s. Top it with a handful of antioxidant-rich berries for natural sweetness, and a sprinkle of walnuts or almonds for healthy fat and crunch. This breakfast builds muscle, stabilizes blood sugar, and will keep you full, focused, and energized all morning long. Now for our second culprit, an item that is practically synonymous with diet food: the fat-free flavored yogurt. We've been conditioned to fear fat for so long that reaching for the fat-free, or low-fat, option feels like an automatic healthy choice. We see the pictures of vibrant strawberries or peaches on the container. We read that it's a good source of calcium and vitamin D. And we believe we are doing our bodies a favor. It's light, it's sweet, and it seems like the perfect guilt-free breakfast or snack. But let's turn that container around and look at the cold, hard facts on the nutrition label. A standard 6-ounce container of fat-free fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt can contain anywhere from 18 to 25 grams of sugar. That is as much sugar as a candy bar. Let me repeat that. You might as well be eating a Snickers for breakfast. Why is there so much sugar? Because when food manufacturers remove fat from a product, they remove all the flavor and the satisfying texture. To make it palatable, they have to pump it full of sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or fruit concentrates, which are just another form of sugar. Let's trace the metabolic destruction. Just like the instant oatmeal, this sugar bomb causes a massive blood sugar spike and a subsequent surge of the fat storage hormone, insulin. But there's another layer of damage here. Our bodies need healthy fat. Fat is not the enemy. It is essential for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. It is crucial for producing hormones. And most importantly for our breakfast discussion, fat is what signals to our brain that we are full and satisfied. When you eat a breakfast with 0 fat but tons of sugar, you are left feeling completely unsatisfied. Your stomach might be full, but your brain is still getting hunger signals because it didn't get the fat it needs for satiety. This is why you can eat a whole container of this sugary yogurt and be ravenously hungry an hour later. You are left on the same blood sugar roller coaster as the oatmeal, but with the added insult of not even feeling full. You've essentially consumed empty calories that have done nothing to nourish you but have done everything to promote fat storage and cravings. Some people reach for the sugar-free versions with artificial sweeteners, but research suggests these can disrupt the gut microbiome and may even trick the brain into craving more sweet things later on. The superior swap is not only healthier, but it is far more luxurious and satisfying. Switch to plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. Please do not be afraid of the fat. The fat in dairy is complex and, when combined with the high protein content of Greek yogurt, it is incredibly satiating. A serving of plain Greek yogurt has a tiny fraction of the sugar, but double or even triple the protein of its fat-free, flavored counterpart. Protein is the #1 most important macronutrient for anyone over 60. It is essential for fighting off age-related muscle loss, and it is incredibly effective at controlling hunger. Here is how you create the perfect breakfast bowl. Start with a scoop of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. For natural sweetness and a huge dose of fiber and antioxidants, add a small handful of fresh or frozen berries. Raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries are excellent choices. For healthy fats and a satisfying crunch, add a tablespoon of chopped walnuts, pecans, or slivered almonds. If you want a little extra fiber and omega-3s, sprinkle on some chia seeds or ground flaxseed. This breakfast is a metabolic masterpiece. The protein and fat will keep your blood sugar rock solid. You will build and preserve muscle mass, and you will feel full and satisfied for hours, effortlessly sailing past that mid-morning slump with steady, focused energy. Let's move on to our third breakfast betrayer, one that lines entire aisles of the grocery store: the heart-healthy box cereal. These boxes are masterpieces of deceptive marketing. They shout at us with claims like made with whole grains, can help lower cholesterol, and fortified with 12 essential vitamins and minerals. We see images of sunshine, fields of wheat, and happy families. It's a powerful message. We pour a bowl, add some skim milk, and believe we are starting our day with a responsible, low-calorie, nutrient-dense meal. But the truth is, what's inside that box is one of the most metabolically damaging foods you can possibly eat. It is not real food. It is an ultra-processed food product, engineered in a factory to be irresistibly crunchy and sweet. Let's look at the label of a popular, healthy oat-based honey nut cereal. The first ingredient is often whole grain oats, which sounds good. But the second and third ingredients are usually sugar and corn syrup. A single modest serving, far smaller than what most people actually pour, can pack 10 to 15 grams of sugar. And the protein and fiber content is typically minuscule. The real danger, however, lies in the processing. To create those little O's, flakes, or squares, the whole grains are subjected to a manufacturing process called extrusion. This involves high heat and high pressure that pulverizes the grains into a fine powder, mixes them into a slurry, and then forces them through tiny holes to create the shapes. This process completely demolishes the cellular structure of the grain. It destroys much of the fiber and the delicate nutrients. What you are left with is essentially a predigested, starchy sugar. It is absorbed by your body almost as fast as pure table sugar, leading to that same disastrous blood sugar and insulin spike we've been talking about. The claim about lowering cholesterol is often based on the tiny amount of soluble fiber from the oats, but that benefit is completely negated by the massive inflammatory impact of the sugar. Starting your day with a bowl of this is like throwing a sugar-coated, inflammatory bomb into your system. It spikes your fat-storing hormone, drains your energy, and does absolutely nothing to build or preserve the muscle mass you so desperately need to maintain a healthy metabolism as you age. The superior swap for this is the original breakfast of champions, a food that has been wrongly vilified for decades: eggs. Eggs are one of the most perfect foods on the planet, especially for someone over 60. Let go of the old, disproven fear of dietary cholesterol. For most people, eating eggs has little to no impact on blood cholesterol levels. What they do provide is the highest quality protein available, which is the ultimate tool for fighting sarcopenia and keeping your metabolism revved up. The yolk, which many people throw away, is a nutritional goldmine. It contains healthy fats, vitamin D, and a crucial nutrient for brain health called choline. A breakfast of 2 or 3 eggs provides a powerful dose of protein and healthy fat with virtually zero carbohydrates and zero sugar. This means it has almost no impact on your blood sugar. There is no spike, no surge, and no crash. Instead of starting your day on a metabolic roller coaster, you are starting on a foundation of solid, stable rock. A breakfast of eggs will keep you feeling full and satisfied for 4 to 5 hours. It eliminates mid-morning cravings and provides your body with the exact building blocks it needs to maintain muscle. You can scramble them, fry them, poach them, or make a veggie-packed omelet. They are versatile, affordable, and from a metabolic standpoint, infinitely superior to any box of cereal. Finally, we arrive at our fourth and final breakfast saboteur. A wolf in sheep's clothing that many people believe is the epitome of health. A glass of fruit juice. We see 100% juice, not from concentrate, a great source of vitamin C. And we think we are drinking liquid sunshine, a pure shot of nature's goodness. What could be healthier than a glass of orange or apple juice? The tragic truth is this: a glass of fruit juice is metabolically equivalent to a glass of soda. I want you to pick up a carton of orange juice and a can of Coke and compare the nutrition labels. You will be shocked to find that an 8-ounce serving of either one contains roughly the same amount of sugar, around 25 to 30 grams. The marketing trick is that the juice can say no added sugar, because the sugar is naturally occurring from the fruit. But to your liver and your pancreas, sugar is sugar, and a massive dose of it in liquid form, with zero fiber to slow it down, is a metabolic disaster. When you eat a whole orange, you are consuming the sugar along with all the pulp and fiber. This fiber creates a kind of gel in your stomach that slows down digestion and the absorption of the sugar into your bloodstream. It takes your body time to break it down. To make a single glass of orange juice, you have to squeeze 4 or 5 oranges and throw away all of that precious blood sugar buffering fiber. What you are left with is a glass of pure sugar water with some vitamins. When you drink it, that liquid sugar, mostly fructose, mainlines directly to your liver. The liver is overwhelmed and can't process it all, so it does what it's forced to do. It converts the fructose into triglycerides, a type of fat, and promotes fat storage, particularly in the liver itself, contributing to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It also causes that familiar, dramatic spike in blood sugar and insulin. Drinking a glass of juice is one of the fastest ways to tell your body to store fat and shut down your metabolism. It is not a health food. It is a dessert. The superior swap is glaringly obvious but profoundly important. Eat the whole fruit and drink a glass of water. Instead of a glass of orange juice, eat a whole orange. Instead of apple juice, eat a whole apple. By eating the fruit in its natural God-given form, you get all the vitamins and a much smaller dose of sugar, perfectly packaged with the fiber that your body needs to process it responsibly. The fiber will keep you feeling full and will feed the good bacteria in your gut. For an even better breakfast, combine that whole fruit with a source of protein and fat. For example, have an apple with a handful of almonds, or have a bowl of berries with your plain Greek yogurt. Another fantastic option is to create a protein smoothie, where you are in control. You can blend a handful of spinach, half a cup of frozen berries, a scoop of protein powder, and a tablespoon of almond butter with unsweetened almond milk. In this case, you are blending the whole fruit, retaining all the fiber, and adding the crucial protein and fat to create a balanced, blood sugar stabilizing meal. You get all the benefits without any of the metabolic wreckage. So there you have it. The 4 healthy breakfast imposters: instant oatmeal, fat-free flavored yogurt, boxed cereal, and fruit juice, and their powerful metabolism-boosting replacements. The common thread in all the damaging foods is their high sugar and low fiber content. The common thread in all the superior swaps is their focus on protein, fiber, and healthy fats. The goal of your first meal of the day, especially after 60, should be to send a signal of stability and nourishment to your body, not a signal of chaos and emergency. You want to build your house for the day on a foundation of rock, not on a foundation of sand. Making this one simple change, redesigning your breakfast, can have a profound and cascading effect on your health. It can stabilize your energy, eliminate cravings, sharpen your thinking, and finally allow your body to let go of that stubborn weight. You have the knowledge now. You have the power to walk past those deceptive boxes and cartons and choose real, whole foods that will truly serve you. I want to hear from you. Which of these breakfast foods has been a staple in your kitchen? Were you shocked by what you learned today? Please share your experience and your favorite truly healthy breakfast ideas in the comments below. Let's build a community of support and wisdom. It is never too late to take back control of your health, and it all starts with your very next breakfast.